Hello my peeps! My name is Kat, aka Kakibot, and in today's video I am going to be talking about things that I had to buy/get when I moved to Edinburgh. And most of these I wasn't quite expecting to have to buy, and they kind of grew on me, and now they are a big part of my day-to-day life. And I thought maybe it would be helpful for you to hear about these. I'm gonna try to make this video short and sweet because yeah, it's about slightly boring things, like number one, hot water bottles. If you move to Scotland, you will need hot water bottles. And to be honest, maybe if you're moving from United States, this might be obvious to you, but in continental Europe, we don't really do hot water bottles. It's kind of a thing that maybe some people get when they're sick. But I've never owned one before I moved here. And then I moved here and I lived in a series of very haunted cold houses. And it was just a matter of life and death, really. And as you can see, I have this one, like really kind of an old tatty one. It's really good to get one with like a soft cover because you're going to be hugging it a lot. I use this every night. I take it to bed. It just keeps my feet and my thumb warm. It's also nice, like, you know, when you're on your period, you have cramps, it's really nice to have something like this. When you move something in your back, and you can also get a tiny one. This past winter has been really tough, and I would always fill this with like hot water and I would carry it around for my walks because my fingers weren't doing so well in the cold. So I found this really helpful, and I mean, I'm sorry, this is not sponsored by Aussie, but this did come for free with a set of shampoos or something, so yeah. Now the next thing you might feel like you should get when you move here is a guide to birds, because I mean, every city is full of birds. That's the nice thing about birds. Like, it's like the one type of animal that is all around you, even if you live a very urban lifestyle. And I feel like that's like the number one reason why people always tell me they're really into birds. But I think that it's really nice that in Britain in general, people seem to be a lot more into birds and bird watching than in other countries I've been to, or like, you know, the one country I've lived in before. I feel like in Czech Republic, when you're into birds, you're just like a full-on bird nerd. Here, you can talk to any normal person and they will probably have quite a good basic knowledge of birds. And also, if you get a bird guide, this one was from eBay or, you know, Amazon secondhand, it was like £3, and I always use this to just kind of like, you know, go for like a random joke of the day. Like, you open this and sometimes like you find such weird names. Let's find some. Oh, a red-throated pipit. Yeah, this is the level of humor that Simon gets from me on a daily basis. Also, Shelduck, isn't that a Pokemon?
Pretty much.
Yep. Anyway. Yes, if you want to take it one step further, you can always get some binoculars as well, but I think that in the city you are basically fine just like setting up a little bird feeder behind your window, and you're gonna see so many birds, and you're also gonna hear a lot of birds. I think that this guide actually comes with an audio guide as well. Now, number 3, let me just start by saying I didn't want this video to be very like weather related, because I asked a bunch of people about, like, you know, so when you moved to Scotland, what is it that you feel like you had to buy and you didn't know you would buy it, and like what do you think is like an essential piece of thing to own in Scotland? And a lot of it was very weather related, because I mean, the climate here is different from continental Europe. It is windier, it is sometimes rainier, it is a lot brighter in summer and a lot darker in winter, so yeah. But for me, the biggest thing, and you know I always talk about this, for me the biggest thing is always the wind. And not just because it's kind of unpleasant when you're trying to make your hair look nice, and then you go out and it's just totally futile. Like, I don't think I've had more than like one good hair day in the past 5 months, and you can ask Simon, he's even more frustrated. So as a kind of like a 3.1, I will say you should probably invest into a good hairspray. Anyway, I'm gonna say earmuffs. Earmuffs have been a total life savior, or like a ear savior, really, because I don't know about you, but hats don't really do it for me. I think that like if you have like a huge hat, or like an ushanka hat, like, you know, the Russian style hat, like a trapper hat, there's hats that do like specifically cover ears, and those are fine. But I think that oh, there's a cat here. we also got a cat. You will need to get a cat when you move to Scotland. Yes, but I feel like earmuffs are like the easiest solution for this problem. Like they literally just go over your ears. I'm already wearing a headband, so I can't really like show you. Yes. But they kind of also work as a headband, so they kind of keep your hair in place. Yeah, they just let you avoid the horrible earache that you get from the really like bitey cold wind in winter. I hate that. I mean, who loves that really? Get some earmuffs. Number 4 might be a bit controversial because it is about private healthcare. And let's just start by saying I totally understand that if you wanted to go like full on into private healthcare, it's very expensive, and I think that it's only really a good idea, especially like if you're young, if you get employment where your employer offers it as a perk, then that's great, and I'm very jealous. But otherwise, I think that if you don't really have like a big family yet, or you know, you're very young and the chances of things going wrong are low, and you know, you are not earning a lot of money, then you know, you don't have to get private healthcare, of course not. But there are bits of private healthcare that you can afford. Like, for example, I pay for private dental care, and I do have dental insurance that kind of pays for my private dental care. And before anyone starts with all those like silver spoon comments down below, I'm just gonna say my dental insurance costs like a third of what Simon's mobile plan costs. So honestly, at the end of the year, whatever I put into my dental insurance returns to me completely just through my dental hygiene appointments. So like it's a good way of spending money. Another thing is we both do these at-home blood tests, which are good for well, pretty much anything from like vitamin D levels to iron levels. I struggle with both of those. Vitamin B12 if you're, you know, vegan or vegetarian, like blood lipids, all of those things. Of course, you can get all of these tests on the NHS, but you will find that especially in Edinburgh, where the NHS is stretched quite thin because there's so many people who live here and want to use it, that one thing is it will be like an affordable luxury for you to do these things on your own. You will get access to all the numbers that you get from these tests. And with dental care, you will find that your appointments come a lot faster, especially, you know, like if you have pain, it's good to have access to like really fast care. It might be more comfortable. The dentist might have more time for you. And there's also like a nice side to it that like if you do opt in for some of these private healthcare bits, not like a full private healthcare, but just the bits that you can justify with your income and that makes sense to you, you are basically making space for someone else who can't afford this. And the same goes for the blood tests. You know, if I'm not getting that nurse appointment, someone else who might need it more does, but I still get all of the information I need through this thing that costs like 40 quid every 6 months, which is not too bad, I think. It's okay. Now for the upcoming summer season, you will probably need a picnic blankie, but not just any picnic blankie. Get yourself a waterproof picnic blankie. I usually carry around this like little waterproof sheet that I got in Japan for like $1. It's very light. It's very small, like, you know, it doesn't take up too much space, so I quite like it, and you can always put something nicer and comfier over it. But don't expect that just because the weather is nice now and the sun is out right now that the ground is gonna be dry, because it almost never is. I would actually say that in the Holyrood Park there are bits that's like there's some sort of like sewage running under it and they are never dry. Like there's bits of Holyrood Park that are like a marshland. Like I don't understand what's going on there. If you're an Edinburgh-based geologist, please let me know in the comments below why Holyrood Park is always so
moist,
squelchy. Yes, moist. Another thing is a borderless account. So I think that when you move here, you will probably think, sure, let's get a Scottish account, right? Like that makes sense, but it's not easy. Friends, it is not easy to get a local bank account. So first of all, when I moved here 10 years ago, like that was a pain in the butt. Like I literally went to like 5 different banks before Royal Bank of Scotland finally allowed me, gave me the luxury, through their sheer benevolence to open a bank account, which like really puzzled me. Like, why is it so hard? And I really thought that it would be much easier now down the line, a couple of years later, especially because I actually lived here for 10 years now. And 2 years ago, I was trying to open up a new bank account with Bank of Scotland, and it was so convoluted that I literally cried there, like in the bank. I cried there like 3 times, and then I decided, wow, like, we live in 21st century, this can't be the only way of getting through this. And I found that I could instead open a borderless account. So I did. I opened an account with Wise, formerly known as Transferwise. You probably know them if you're sending money between countries, but like to me it's really practical because I get paid from a lot of other countries that are not UK, so often it's just nice to get paid into that account. And what I think is the nicest thing about that borderless account is that you have total transparency of how much fees you're paying for both sending money to your other accounts and also converting money from one currency to the other. That has been a big problem for me. That was actually the main reason why I tried to open that second account with Bank of Scotland. Never again. Because my accountant told me that my Royal Bank of Scotland account is taking the dollars being sent to my account and converting them like really unfavorably, and they wouldn't even tell me like what their exchange rate is. They wouldn't tell me what the fees were. It was really just a mystery for both of us, both me and my accountant. And yeah, I think that now is working a lot better. So if you're from a different country and you're expecting people to pay you from different countries, then a borderless account is the way to go. A couple of minutes ago, I mentioned the private blood tests and that I get tested for vitamin D. Vitamin D is not something that is very plentiful in Scotland. I think that officially what they say, what like GPs will tell you, is that like in winter you should take a supplement and in summer it's fine. But honestly, like it's end of May now and it is 12 degrees outside. Does anyone really like walk outside sleeveless? Like, no. So which part of your body are you supposed to be getting the vitamin D from? And like how much mushroom are you supposed to be eating to get the vitamin D? It's just impossible. So all throughout the year, if you move here, you will have to buy some vitamin D supplement. I use this one, which is kind of a spray thing. Honestly, like you can get anything. They are very cheap and you can also get them from the GP. I just think that it's kind of nicer for the whole national healthcare system to just go buy your own vitamin D and like not waste anyone's time, unless like you're really like on low income, in which case please take advantage of the NHS. I can't wink.
Wink! Jesus Christ.
Okay, and that got us to the end of the list. I think that one bonus item that I'm gonna mention is some good hiking boots. I didn't bring my hiking boots through because they're very muddy and disgusting, and I don't want you to see them, and I don't want the mud to get all over my office, even though my office is not super clean right now either. Anyway, I don't think I've ever owned a pair of hiking shoes, boots, before I moved here. You know, I knew that they would be nice to have if I ever wanted to go like, you know, hiking in the mountains or something like that. But here in Edinburgh, you genuinely do find them useful, even if you're just like going to the park. I mean, you've seen our parks video, like some of our parks have some rough terrain in them. So if you want to be truly free, if you don't want to be held back by your footwear, please get yourself some good hiking boots. You're really not gonna regret it. They do ruin every outfit ever. Like, there is no pair of hiking boots that would look good, but they really give you the freedom to do anything you want, anywhere you want in Edinburgh. You can take advantage of the right to roam in Scotland. You can walk anywhere and you can step into anything, and you will probably be able to wash out that cow pad later. Okay, that gets me to the end of the list. If you have made a move to Scotland or Edinburgh, I would love to hear about what you had to buy for yourself that you didn't quite expect you would have to get down in the comments below. And if you haven't made the move yet, it would be great to hear if there's anything that you're planning to get once you move here and I didn't mention it today. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And as always, thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. If you like my face, don't forget to visit me on Instagram on kakibot and kakiblog. Also, down in the doobly-doo is a link to my Etsy store where you can get some great Scottish themed pins. Yes, there's some new ones now, so check them out. Okay, I think that's it from me for now, and I will see you hopefully soon. Bye. Thyroid. It's
Blooper reel sorted?
my road or the thyroid.